I use these in my coaching. I also use this. This only costs 60 bucks, and this costs $20,000. All this is 2 of the thickest bands that you can buy at Elite FTS or Perform Better, and one of them only costs $31. Let's go over the benefits and all of the drills you can do with this double band setup for only 60 bucks. Now on to our drills, 2 different categories, in place and moving forwards. In place first, we have our entire banded A series. So a marching, a skipping, and a running, trying to stay in the same spot while the band is trying to pull you back. Next are our banded 1-steps, both linear and also lateral from a crossover start, working on a big explosive first step. And on top of that, you can also do a banded 2-step. Next, these work great for broad jumps, both single leg and double leg broad jumps, as well as a single leg lateral broad jump and a lateral quick to stick coming in and then going out against the band. Last, in place, the bands are great for adding that next level of challenge to all of your wall technique work, whether it's wall load and lifts or your wall A switches. First, moving forwards, we have our entire banded A series. So our A marching, A skipping, A running, where the athlete holding them back is slowly moving forwards with them. Next, one of my personal favorites, the banded heavy low march, which I think is one of the hardest exercises to execute without something like a double band setup. Next, very simple, you can sprint in the bands. And you can coach this multiple different ways. It could be a light resisted sprint, medium heavy, or a resist release where the athlete is holding back their partner for 5 yards and then gradually lets the resistance go as they continue sprinting. Last, getting out of the sagittal plane, you can do your resisted shuffling and anything kind of like that. That is by no means all of the exercises you could possibly do with a double band setup. Those are just the main ones that I use in my coaching. First, obviously, it is very cheap compared to some of the other speed training tools out there. Now, I use the 10 sprint and the bands the same amount. They do different things, but I think you get a lot of bang for your buck just for 2 of those bands. You get twice the amount of athletes involved / moving at once, as opposed to having athletes just go one at a time, because there's always one athlete either holding the bands or in the bands, whether it's for an in-place drill or a moving drill. So there's less opportunities for kids to get into trouble, less boredom, and more engagement. They're super portable and super simple to take around. They can go inside, outside, they can get rained on, etc., because they're just big rubber bands. Put them in your trunk, and wherever you go, there they are. You don't need that much space to use these double bands. The most yardage we ever do for any drill with the bands is like 10 or 15 yards. And half of the drills you can do in place. And let's say you're in a weight room only setting, you can attach the band to a rack, and then that's all you have right there with that horizontal resistance, getting high quality speed work in minimal amount of space. Last is the durability. We've been using these nonstop basically since COVID because we needed more space in between athletes and just simpler equipment to use. And on some of these, the outer layer of the band is starting to go a little bit, but none of these have ever snapped. And if you think that the knot is going to be the least durable part, same thing, it's starting to go a little bit, but 3 years, crazy amount of use, and these things are still going strong. So for only $60, I think you get so much value, so much potential upside, and so much versatility out of this double band setup that it just might be what you're looking for to level up your speed training.